She didn't say, I like you. She said three quieter words, and your nervous system felt it before your mind caught up. Listen closely. When a woman begins to develop feelings, she rarely announces it. Attraction doesn't arrive with fireworks. It slips in through language, timing, and tone. As a psychologist, I need you to understand this because most men miss it, not because they're foolish, but because they're trained to listen for the wrong signals. You're taught to hunt for certainty. Women are taught to communicate safely. The first three words are this: Are you okay? On the surface, it sounds polite, casual, forgettable. But when those words arrive unprompted, when nothing is visibly wrong, something deeper is happening. This is emotional attunement. Her nervous system has clocked a shift in yours. She's monitoring your internal state, not out of obligation, but because your well being has started to matter to her personally. This is the earliest form of emotional investment. Most men brush this off. They answer quickly, yeah, I'm fine, and they move on. But psychologically, what she's doing is reaching out with a soft probe. Is there space for me to care? Will you let me in without punishing me for it? If your response shuts the door, she retreats. Not dramatically, quietly. She files you under emotionally unavailable and teaches herself not to lean toward you again. Here's what you were never told. Women don't fall in love through excitement first. They fall in love through safety. And safety is built in micro moments, tiny exchanges where vulnerability is invited but not demanded. When she asks if you're okay, she's not asking for a report. She's offering connection. The men who understand this don't overshare or perform strength. They answer honestly but calmly. I had a long day. I'm all right though. That sentence alone tells her three things. You trust her, you're self-aware, and you don't collapse under emotional contact. That's rare. And rarity creates gravity. Now, let me say something uncomfortable. When a woman starts using emotional language before romantic language, it means desire is already present, but being evaluated. She's checking whether you're safe to want, not safe as in harmless, safe as in grounded, regulated, capable of holding space without consuming it. This is why men who chase validation scare women away, and men who never open up feel distant. The sweet spot is emotional presence without neediness, calm truth without performance. If you've ever wondered why a woman suddenly lost interest after seeming close, it's often because these early bids for connection went unanswered. Not rejected, just missed. Attraction doesn't die loudly. It fades quietly when care isn't received. And the men who learn to hear what's being said beneath the words, they don't chase feelings. They create the conditions where feelings grow. The second set of words doesn't sound romantic at all, and that's why it's dangerous to ignore. She says, "Tell me about you." And the room subtly changes. When a woman develops feelings, curiosity becomes focused. This isn't small talk. This isn't politeness. This is selective attention. She's no longer gathering information to decide if you're interesting. She's gathering information to understand who you are beneath the surface. Psychologically, this is a pivot from evaluation to attachment. Most men misunderstand this moment. They either perform, listing achievements, status, stories meant to impress, or they deflect, keeping things light, joking, staying cool. Both responses feel safe to you. Both responses feel empty to her. Here's the truth you were never taught. Intimacy doesn't grow through impressive information. It grows through revealed perspective. She doesn't want your resume. She wants your inner logic, how you make sense of the world, what disappoints you, what motivates you when no one is watching, what you're quietly proud of but never say out loud. When she says, "Tell me about you," her subconscious is asking, if I step closer, what kind of emotional climate will I be entering? Is it rigid? Is it chaotic? Is it grounded? Men who answer with stories but no self-reflection feel entertaining, but not safe. Men who answer with silence feel mysterious, but unreachable. The men women fall for speak from the inside out, not dumping trauma, not oversharing, but allowing texture, allowing humanity. There's another layer here most people miss. When she asks about you, she's also watching how you handle being seen. Do you rush? Do you minimize yourself? Do you inflate yourself, or do you stay present, measured, and honest? Women are extraordinarily sensitive to emotional congruence. If your words say one thing but your body says another, trust breaks instantly. That's not manipulation, that's instinct. Her nervous system is checking for coherence. Coherent men feel safe to bond with. And here's the part that may sting. If you consistently avoid this question or answer it in a way that keeps her at arm's length, she doesn't confront you. She adapts. She tells herself you're not ready, not deep, or not emotionally available. Then she slowly pulls her curiosity back. Desire doesn't disappear, it gets redirected. This is why so many men are blindsided when a woman says, I just don't feel a connection. The connection was offered early, it just wasn't met. When you allow a woman to know you, not the polished version, not the guarded version, but the regulated, self-aware version, you activate something powerful. You give her a sense of orientation. And orientation is what allows attachment to form without fear. Feelings don't grow in mystery forever. They grow in clarity that feels safe. And the men who understand this don't try to be fascinating. They allow themselves to be real, and that's what makes them unforgettable. The third set of words is the most misunderstood and the most emotionally loaded. She says, I feel safe. Sometimes it's spoken directly. Sometimes it's softened into, I'm comfortable with you, or I can be myself around you. But the psychology underneath is the same. This is not friend zone language. This is nervous system language. When a woman says she feels safe with you, her body has stopped scanning for threat. That's not small. That's not neutral. From a psychological perspective, safety is the gateway to desire, not the absence of it. Arousal cannot deepen in a system that's on guard. Long-term attraction doesn't form in chaos. It forms where tension can relax without disappearing. Here's where many men sabotage themselves. They hear safe and assume it means predictable, non-sexual, or boring. So they pull back. Or they overcorrect, becoming distant, sarcastic, or emotionally unavailable to restore polarity. And in doing so, they rupture the very bond that was forming. Safety does not mean lack of excitement. It means emotional regulation. It means she doesn't have to manage your reactions, walk on eggshells, or brace for volatility. Her nervous system is saying, I can lean here without collapsing. That's intimate. When she says she feels safe, she's also revealing trust. She's telling you she has dropped defenses she doesn't drop easily. Women don't do this casually. They do it when consistency, presence, and emotional coherence have been demonstrated over time. Not words, but behavior. And here's the subtle part. Safety creates space for her to explore desire without fear of consequence. Fear kills curiosity. Safety invites it. Men who understand this don't rush. They don't test. They don't withdraw to create anxiety. They stay steady. They remain embodied. They allow attraction to deepen organically without forcing a peak moment to prove something. This is where masculine strength is often misdefined. Strength is not emotional distance. It's containment. The ability to hold your own emotions without leaking them onto her. The ability to respond rather than react. The ability to stay grounded when intimacy increases. When a woman feels safe, she starts imagining a future without consciously choosing to. She wonders what it would be like to bring you into more areas of her life. She becomes protective of the connection, not possessive, protective. That's attachment forming. If you've ever had a woman pull away right after saying she felt safe, it's usually because something disrupted that sense of emotional consistency. A sharp mood swing, a dismissive comment, a sudden disappearance. Safety is built slowly and broken quickly. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being reliable at the emotional level. When you become a man whose presence calms rather than destabilizes, you stop competing. You stop chasing. You become a place of rest. And paradoxically, desire grows stronger there, because what women ultimately fall in love with is not intensity, it's integrity at the nervous system level. Now, here's the truth most men are never told, because once you understand it, you stop being controllable by confusion. When a woman says all three, when she checks on your inner state, leans in to know who you are, and tells you she feels safe, feelings are already present. The question is no longer whether she feels something. The question is whether those feelings are allowed to deepen or forced to shut down. At this stage, women don't leave because they lose attraction. They leave because their nervous system receives a signal that it's no longer safe to continue investing. That signal can be subtle: inconsistency, emotional withdrawal, performative confidence, or the quiet pressure for reassurance that asks her to regulate you instead of herself. None of these feel dramatic in the moment, but they accumulate, and when they cross a threshold, her body decides before her mind does. This is why chasing clarity too early backfires. Asking, "What are we?" before emotional safety is stable feels like pressure, not leadership. Leadership at this stage is emotional steadiness, letting the connection breathe, allowing her to move closer at her own pace while remaining grounded in yourself. The men who win here don't change who they are when feelings appear. They don't become colder or more available. They remain congruent. That consistency is what tells her this is real, this is stable, this can last. Here's the reframe you need. Women don't want to be convinced to feel. They want permission to trust what they already feel. And permission comes from your behavior, not your words. When you stay present without clinging, honest without dumping, and confident without dominance, something shifts. Her emotional system relaxes further. Desire stops being something she manages and becomes something she experiences. And now the question I want you to sit with: when a woman feels safe, curious, and emotionally attuned with you, do you become more grounded, or do you unconsciously pull away? Be honest. Answer that in the comments. If this video put words to experiences you couldn't explain, like the video. Subscribe if you want psychology that actually helps you navigate attraction with clarity instead of confusion. And share this with a friend who keeps losing connections he never understood, because this might be the missing piece he's been searching for.